Hey, I'm Traci Brown, body language expert and behavior analyst. I've been doing a lot of analysis on who's telling the truth and whose pants are on fire in the news over the last week. So we're going to go over all of it right now. Now, I've trained with the military and police and interview and interrogation. I work on investigations all the time, and I do keynotes for financial and insurance companies to help them stop fraud loss. So let's take all of those tools and apply it to what's going on real world in the news these days, really over the last 7 days, and come along with me on my adventures as we find the truth and find the lies. All right, some of you tagged me in this video done by the dabbling chick. She wanted a body language expert, so here I am. Kash Patel is at it again. They had a press conference, looks like in the Oval Office, talking about Charlie Kirk and were there any conspiracies that the FBI was chasing down. Take a look at this and stay tuned for my analysis.
Thank you. And then Director Patel, there's been so many conspiracy theories swirling around about the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Do you have any updates for us, especially in light of all the online content that everyone's been talking about?
The only thing we deal with at the FBI and the Department of Justice is facts. And we delivered in record speed a manhunt to capture Charlie Kirk's alleged assassin in 33 hours. And if you put that in perspective to Luigi Mangione or the Boston bomber, they took them 5 days and a police officer lost their life in their manhunt. We are running out absolutely every single lead. And the best thing we can do to honor my friend Charlie Kirk's life is to make sure that everyone involved is prosecuted to the full extent of the law. And that's what we're focused on, investigating the facts, not trading in conspiracy theories.
Now, one of the things you always want to look at for when deception may be at hand is look at their baseline. Is this different than what we've seen from them? Is it the same? Well, in this case, I think it's pretty different. He is talking about as fast as he possibly can about this idea of conspiracies. And, let's talk about a conspiracy just for a minute. That just means more than one person is involved and they planned it a little bit. As far as I know, if you know something different, you can put it in the chat. But he has prepared this. It sounds really rehearsed to me. And he says, he does one thing. He gives what I'm going to call, in this case, a resume statement for the FBI that says, we only go on facts. Well, anytime someone shapes up a response to your answer and they start to give a resume statement first, it's a pretty good indicator of deception. So here's another thing about how we know that he is under threat. His whole statement, remember, speaking as fast as he possibly can, takes him 37 seconds. I timed it out. And as far as I can tell, he blinks 3 times during the whole statement. Right now, we should blink about 15 to 22 times per minute. That's a blink rate of 6 per minute. He is really, really under threat here. He's trying to take in all the information that he can so he can respond. And while he's doing all of this, you see him swaying around? Yeah, that's him trying not to run, okay? We don't really have very good control over our feet. His body's ready to go, but he won't let his feet take him anywhere because he knows he better stay. So, yeah, something's not right here at all. If you're enjoying this, make sure you subscribe. It's going to help this channel grow and let me bring you more of this information on a regular basis. Let's take a look at Pam Bondi in her most recent hearing in Congress about records being flagged, I think with Epstein and President Trump. Take a look at this classic tell of deception you're going to be able to use in your life. Stay tuned for my analysis.
So who gave the order to flag records related to President Trump?
To flag records for President Trump?
To flag any records which included his name.
I'm not going to discuss anything about that with you. So.
Here's what we have. Is for one, her pause is too long. Okay, so she's thinking about the answer instead of directly answering it. So usually they say 5 seconds indicates deception. This one's 3. It's a departure from her baseline, so that becomes really important. And then she repeats the question. So whenever anybody repeats a question that you know they heard, they are trying to buy time to think up their answer. And then she says, I'm not going to talk about anything about that with you. Okay, so what that means is there is something there, right? She didn't say, nobody said anything about that, or there's no mention of him in the records. Okay, so classic deception. I'm going pants on fire with Pam and her knowledge of Trump in the Epstein files. I don't think that's news to everyone, but this is important stuff that you can use in your life. So some of you tag me in this. What is going on with Trump's handshake? I got a series of them. Take a look at it and stay tuned for my analysis.
What is this and why does he do it?
So this isn't new. This is how Trump shakes hands when he wants to dominate. What he does is grab your hand, and he probably has quite a grip, and yank you, right? What he's doing is showing you how he's going to do you later. There's so much information in a handshake that you got to pay attention to it. So if he's trying to keep you off balance, which is kind of what he's doing with other politicians around the world, he's telling them right away with the handshake that they need to be prepared. Now, I've seen this less this term than on his first term. So either people are ready for it, right, and they're gripping harder and firming up their shoulders to be prepared, or he's doing a little bit less of it. So next time you see him shake hands, watch this, and you'll know he's just trying to pull people off balance. It's the same way he does the rest of his administration, right, and the rest of his policies. So now you know. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle stepped out to do some award getting, I guess you'd say. I've never seen Harry quite like this. Take a look at this and stay tuned for my analysis.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for being here tonight in support of Project Healthy Minds, our partners at Archwell Foundation, and the true leaders in mental health access.
Okay, here's what I see. First thing, right when he walks on stage, he does that big puff with his shits away to relieve stress. And then we see a series of adapters, or you can call them pacifiers as well. Again, to relieve stress. So he adjusts his coat. He fiddles with the inside of his coat. And then he does what I've never seen anyone do is he taps his almost like his clavicle there with his hand. Why? Well, it's an adapter. And then he proceeds to wring his hands throughout the whole speech that he gives. Now, body language tells you what's on someone's mind. It doesn't tell you why. We know here that he's super anxious and super nervous. So why would that be? One, well, maybe he's given a speech that he's never given before. I mean, I do a lot of speeches. If you've never given a speech and you're doing it the first time, it is tough. Or maybe it's because his wife chose to not wear a shirt, just a jacket. Take a look at William. Was out promoting Mental Health Day. I think that's what they call it, World Mental Health Day. And I saw some emotions from him. I saw some behavior from him that I have never seen before. Was it real? Was it fake? Take a look at this and stay tuned for my analysis.
He did keep blaming himself that weekend, but I would just like to sit him down like this and just say, why didn't you come to me? Because he's missed out on just so much joy, and we would have been okay. And I think that's what the hardest thing is. We would have been okay. You okay?
I'm sorry, it's hard to ask you a question that
and
I know.
Hard, and
it is.
You've experienced loss yourself.
All right, here's what we're seeing here is sadness, and it's real. Now, how do we get there? Is first look at his eyebrows. So remember, the forehead is the billboard, the eyebrows are the writing on the billboard, and they go up in the middle, right above his nose. That's your glabella area. And unless you're really sad, because it's just the tips of his eyebrows that go up, unless you're really sad, it is super hard to do. So that is tip one on how we know that he's got sadness coming on. And then well, there is a camera cut, but you see him start to choke up a little bit, like he's holding back tears. He kind of stops talking, and it comes on really slow. Okay, and that's actually what you want to see to decode if an emotion is real. It shouldn't be like turning on and off a light switch. Okay, so yeah, so this is real. His eyes are glassy, his cheeks, like his face gets a little bit red. So yeah, I'm going true on the sadness here. I think this is real. I think it's great that both he and Harry are out doing something about mental health, because, you know, we should. Kamala Harris is out on her book tour talking about if she's going to run again or not. Let's take a look at this and see if we can peer into the future.
I don't know if I'm going to run again. I may not. I'm not sure.
So we don't know if she's been asked this question or if she just brought it up on her own. But what we do know is that she's showing a lot of stress around the topic. So I believe she is at least considering it, but I believe a lot more too. See how she kicks her foot out like that? That says stress. But the big tell here that she may not believe what's coming out of her mouth is that one shoulder shrug. One-sided shrug can say that you just don't believe what you're saying. If she had pointed her chin towards that shoulder, I'd be 100% that she is definitely running. Other thing that we see is that laugh. I guess we hear it. We hear that laugh. That's her nervous laugh. She did it all through her vice presidency, during tough times, and during her campaign. And it's a typical reaction to stress. So this is a super stressful question for her. I'm betting with this. I'm thinking she's in. Tell me what you think in the comments and why. Time will tell about who's right here. Thanks for watching, and if there is any news that you want me to analyze, go ahead and send me a note with the link, and if you can, a timestamp. I'll give it a look, and you may see it next week in my analysis. TB out.